With the Canadian Premier League putting emphasis on U21 development, who would be on my U21 League Team of the Year? Well, I'll tell you that right here in this episode, so stay tuned. Hey guys, if you're new here, I'm Curtis, and this is my channel, AFC Curtis, your home for all things Canadian Premier League content right here on YouTube, with interviews, opinion pieces, and more. You might want to consider hitting that red subscribe button. Now, with the Canadian Premier League showing how important this year it is to bring up and develop U21 players in the league, I decided to make my very own Team of the Year, my starting 11, all based off of players born from January 1st, 1998, or after January 1st, 1998. So these are players that are technically U21 players. They turned either 21 or younger in the year 2019 for the 2019 inaugural season of the CPL. So make sure you guys sit back and enjoy. These are my top guys in my top 11 here, from goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and of course forwards, ending it off there. So let's kick things off with the goalkeepers. So this one's actually the easiest out of all the positions on the starting 11 team, because there's only one player that actually technically qualified for the starting 11 for the U21 Team of the Year, and that was Valor FC goalkeeper Matthias Jensens, who ends up qualifying. So congratulations, Matthias. He does deserve it though, because he did of course play quite a few games. He split the spring season with Tyson Farrago, and while Tyson was out through much of the summer here and started the fall season for Valor FC, it was Matthias Jensens who came up and played through it all. He had a bit of an injury, picked up an injury unfortunately toward the end of summer and start of the fall, where he's currently out sidelined with that injury, but he has proven to be a pretty good commodity here for Valor FC. He came in 20 years old. He's one of those pieces that a lot of people see as a player can come in, play a year or two, maybe win a starting position in the CPL, and then we can sell and flip for a big transfer fee for Valor FC and for the Canadian Premier League. And I think he's proven, 2019 was a bit of a learning experience for him, but he's definitely played well throughout the fall season when he's getting those opportunities. So that's great for him. So I think he definitely deserves the spot as goalkeeper on my U21 team. Now, the defenders of the year for my U21 team here was really hard to kind of cut down, because there was 5 really good defenders that all deserve a shot on my back 4 here for my team. And unfortunately, the one guy that just missed the cut was defender from Valor FC, Raf Garcia, but he's still eligible for next year. And if he keeps trending up the way he has been in the last half of the season here for the Valor FC team here in the fall season, I really do think that he'll make the team in 2020 and probably even be a starter for Valor FC in the long-term future for 2020 and beyond. Now we get to the back 4 here. We're starting off with right back Caden Chung of Pacific FC here, and this guy's been looked pretty good this season for Pacific FC. He's also got some international background there, playing for Canada in the past, but I think with him though, this year he's going to be clocking in about almost 2,000 playing minutes this year, and he's been a full-time starter there at the fullback position for PFC. Done fairly well for himself, developed really well, really looks a lot better at the end of the season than the start of the season, which is a good thing for young players. And then you move into the center back spot now here from the HFX Wanderers. I got Krishnovich Nasa, who's done really well. It's kind of been tailing off a little bit though here in September and October for the HFX Wanderers, not getting as many starts recently, but again, another guy who's logged over 1,000 minutes this year. It was a starter for at least half the season at center back when there's injuries. He's been reliable in there and fairly stable for the club. And again, another guy who's young, who's developing. That's a good thing for the HFX Wanderers. And then the other center back here, Caden's teammate actually from PFC, Emily Legault, center back here, who again also has playing potential for playing with the men's national team for Canada. He's played in the past. He played last summer actually, or last spring 2018 with the Canadian team. I believe it was the under-20 team there. But he's got really good potential there. He's played a lot actually, quite a bit there at that center back spot for PFC this year. He did miss the start of the season when he got signed there, but then because of injuries, especially with Starro there at the end of the fall or spring season and early in the fall season there, he's definitely stepped up big and has played and filled a bit of a hole there. He's developed a lot. He's kind of been trial by fire, to be honest with you, with him with PFC this year, but he's done fairly well and developed pretty well as well. He's looking a lot better at the end of the season than he does at the start of the season. And of course at left back here I got Langwa, Zoom Langwa there from the HFX Wanderers. I would say his first name, but I'm really bad at butchering names and I don't want to butcher his name, because he does deserve to be on this team. He had a really good spring season. I think the fall season teams kind of caught on a little bit to the way the HFX Wanderers play as well as the way they use them. And I think with injuries in the summer too and just minutes, he was logging a lot of minutes that come July, August, especially with the Canadian Championship. I think it started to catch up on him along with the travel with the rest of the Wanderers players there. But I think Langwa here, you got to make an argument that he does deserve a spot here on the back 4 of my U21 Team of the Year. Now we get to the middle of the park here. My 3 players I think are my midfielders that are U21 Team of the Year material type players here. And the first one here goes to York Nine's Diadine Abzi. I probably butchered that first name, so I'm super sorry, but Abzi there from York Nine there. This is a guy, I'm going to be honest with you here. This is one of the two guys that are in my three midfielder roles here for the Team of the Year that I did not expect to be on this team by the end of the year. I'm not going to lie. Abzi, though, has definitely, to me at least, just watching him play, he looks like a difference maker. He's super young. I believe he turned 20 this year or 21 this year, but he is definitely a player on the rise. So I think the York Nine fans out there should definitely be pleased with him. He's one of their top prospects coming into the year. I think he's developed a lot. You know, the spring season he didn't feature a lot on starting 11 team. He maybe got subbed in once in a while, I feel. But then the fall season things started to pick up, especially in the Canadian Championship. Getting those extra minutes in there, you know, really helped him develop. And of course, having the U21 kind of, you know, rule where you have to have X amount of players have 1,000 minutes. You know, he's done that really well, and he's gotten those minutes for York Nine, and he's now become one of those players where he's not just a super sub. I think he could be a full-time starter by the end of this year. I think he already is, to be honest with you. I think next year I'm really excited to see what he brings. He is also a guy that could play the fullback position too. So I mean, his dual position guide looks really good though for York Nine FC. I think they should be proud of him and his development. The other midfield guy here that I didn't expect to be on my Team of the Year is from Pacific FC, and it's not Noah Verhoeven. No, it's actually Zach Verhoeven here, who's to me really played really well this year. I think the fall season, again, kind of like Abzi, you didn't see a whole lot of them, so you couldn't really judge on just a few minutes you got to see each game of him getting subbed in. But as the fall season's progressed, and because of injuries and maybe change of formations and just, you know, rough forms and rough patches there for Pacific FC through the fall season, I think we're starting to get to see Zach Verhoeven pick up those minutes. I think he's proven that he deserves those minutes. He deserves to get starts for Pacific FC. And, you know, like I said, him and Abzi are two guys that I didn't really expect much out of in the fall season, in the spring season, from just watching them in the spring season. But the fall season, 100%, as well as the Canadian Championship, with the minutes that they logged there, especially for Abzi, they've definitely, you know, impressed me a lot. And I think they definitely deserve to be starters in the Canadian Premier League. I think Zach Verhoeven knows, you know, because of that loaded midfield right now, I think he's a little bit rougher in terms of, you know, quality and where he will sit in the starting 11 on a regular occasion. But I think by next year, it's depending on the transfer market this winter for PFC, I think he could be a full-time starter next year and develop even more, which is great stuff for him. And then my last midfielder here from Forge FC is Tristan Borges. You might have heard of him, but Tristan Borges there, he's only, you know, one of the leading goal scorers in the Canadian Premier League right now. One of the top players, one of the top aces. A lot of people since really the start of the season have been impressed with him and just the quality he is, the quality of a player that he is, and he's shown this season. And he's a guy, obviously, it's already attracting interest. He'll probably be one of those one and done players in the Canadian Premier League. He'll play this 1 year and probably be sold in the winter time to go play in Europe somewhere. But I think that's important because that's what the league's all about, is developing these young players. And, you know, Tristan Borges is definitely looking like a role model for future players. Now we move on to the front three here to end things off here. And these are three guys that are really good players. So it kind of made it a bit easier for the forwards here because these are three solid picks here. And we're going to start off with Valor FC's Tyler Attardo here. And I mean, Tyler Attardo, by the way, he just turned 18 in September. Like a month ago, he just turned 18. Before that, he's been 17 the whole time. And he's been tearing up the league already. One of the top goal scorers for Valor FC. And I mean, this guy's got huge potential. I think in a few years, you'll be talking about Tyler Attardo like we talk about Tristan Borges today. A player that just makes a difference. And that's what Tyler Attardo does. I mean, he just seems to be playing with more confidence the more games he gets. The start of the season, you know, he was more of like a sub-type player. But now here in the last half of the year, the entire fall season pretty much, he's been a full-time starter, and he just gets more and more confidence game in and game out. He's been scoring goals, you know, here and there, yes, but I mean, he's been picking up something really important, and that is experience and gameplay and minutes. Especially, like I said, he just turned 18 a month ago here, and he's already developed this much. That's incredible stuff. Could you imagine in 2 to 3 years how much better he'll be? It's incredible here. So I think definitely check him out. This guy's a fantastic player, deserves to be on my U21 team. Another really good player here is Mr. Taron Campbell of Pacific FC, a guy who is one of the top goal scorers in the Canadian Premier League. And just like Tristan Borges, who we touched on just a minute ago, you know, he's a player that's been kind of linked to possibly leaving the Canadian Premier League and going to go play in Europe or in the MLS or somewhere outside the Canadian Premier League, a league that's a little bit, you know, tougher to get into than the CPL. And I think he could do that, and he could make that jump because he's got what a goal scorer needs. He looks good. He looks confident now with the ball at his feet. He looks strong when he does his shots there. He's got good shots. He's got good power behind those shots, and he's a strong, tough player to get off the ball. So I think he's got the makings of what good young players need to develop in the next level of talented leagues there. So he's got it there. And now my last forward here as well is Easton Ongaro of FC Edmonton, who, like the last two forwards I just mentioned, you know, he's got really good potential. He scored a bunch of his goals in the month of August, so he had a really good month of August. The rest of the time this season, especially before August, I felt like he didn't get a whole lot of time seeing him on the pitch there because he just didn't get that many minutes. He was almost like a sub player. But since August, when he came on the field, he just exploded. He continues to do that, just as small bunches here and there, and he shows moments, you know, again, I like him more right now as more like a super sub because he doesn't start all the time here in the fall season for FC Edmonton yet, because there was an article a couple weeks ago over on the CanPL website just talking about how he's just hungry to get in that scoring race for 2020. And I think if he continues to develop the way he has been already, he will be in that scoring race in 2020. 100%, probably top 3 goal scorer in the Golden Boot conversation for sure in 2020. That's my prediction for Easton Ongaro for 2020. Because I mean, again, this is one of the top under 21 players and forwards period in the Canadian Premier League. Top 3 on my rankings, as you can see here. So this is my team, U21 Canadian Premier League team of the year. So let me know what you think down in the comment section. Well guys, there you have it. Those are my picks for my U21 team of the year for the Canadian Premier League. Let me know down in that comment section below. Let's talk down there. You know, what do you guys think about my team? Is there any players I maybe missed? Is there any players I kind of overlooked? Let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, if you like this video, definitely give me that thumbs up button. That like button shows me like content just like this right here. And of course, if you want to see more content just like this over on my channel, AFC Curtis, if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely consider hitting that red subscribe button and that little bell notification button too, so you can get notified each and every week I drop a brand new episode just like this one. And of course, you can also find my content over at northernstarting11.com. I have a link for that website down in the description below. Definitely go check it out. And if you like the content over there, maybe consider even donating, because a bunch of those volunteer or people over there are volunteers like myself who do all this great work and put in this huge amount of time in terms of our research, our production, our post-production, editing, all that stuff, and of course uploading it over the internet, of course. So check out that website. Definitely, you know, check out their articles, vidcasts, podcasts, nothing but grade A level stuff there. It's all fantastic stuff, and it definitely satisfies your hunger for more Canadian soccer content. So definitely check it out, northernstarting11.com. Link is down in that description. And guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching.